The purpose of these lessons is to show you the logic behind the most basic Chinese characters, beginning with the simplest pictograms, and later combining these elements to create more complex characters. There are 5 characters in today's lesson, the 5th installment of characters containing the phonetic and semantic element feng. Only one of those 5 actually derives from feng, the others often being found in combination with it. So, that first character is made up of the speech radical yan plus feng. And pronounced third tone, fang. Its original meaning was to put questions to many people. From the connotation of feng found in Fangguo, those states north, south, east, and west of the Shang dynasty over 3,500 years ago. And to ask questions or go fact-finding, one needs to visit or call on people, the current sense in Mandarin today. When a foreign dignitary pays a visit to China, the term to use is fanghua, with hua referring to the official wording zhonghua in the name of the country. 这是他访华之行的主要目的. This was the main purpose of his visit to China. Next up is the phrase 访问, with 问 emphasizing that this journey has a specific purpose, especially for journalists, heads of state, and other political figures traveling abroad. 访问 can mean to interview a person or to visit a place. 他一大早就来访问我太太. She came early this morning to interview my wife. 那就是我们一直想访问的业主. That's the owner we've been wanting to interview. 今天是英国女王来加拿大的私人访问. Today marks the British Queen's private visit to Canada. 若不会说法语，访问法国会很不顺利. Visiting France without speaking the language would be quite difficult. The expression 来访 is slightly more polite sounding than 访 alone, and applies to anyone making a visit. 你来访时，我们恰好外出了. We happened to be out when you visited. 请问，您来访的目的是什么? May I ask the purpose of your visit? 我收拾了一下屋子，等待表亲的来访. I tidied up the house in anticipation of my cousin's visit. To arrive at, or come to a location for a special visit, an expression often found in news reporting or formal announcements is 到访. 您到访过世界的哪些地方? What places in the world have you visited? 外国人到访的主要目的是那座新工厂. The main purpose of foreigners' visits is to see that new factory. 影迷们千方百计地想跟到访的影星合照. Movie fans go to great lengths to get photos with visiting stars. Our next character, unrelated to first tone feng, but often found in combination with third tone fang, is one apparently depicting an ancient form of etiquette to show respect, whereby one kneels on both knees, bows their head until level with their waist, and places both hands on the ground. It's pronounced fourth tone, bai. That version gave way to the second pictograph of a pair of raised hands holding a sheaf of wheat to thank the gods for a good harvest. The pose is similar to how Chinese people hold incense or joss sticks when praying at temples. The final drawing is the modern version of two raised hands plus the ancient character for xia, indicating both hands raised with palms together, accompanied by bowing of the head. Often seen even today when Chinese people want to show their gratitude to someone. With bai, we can now make the respectful phrase bai fang for paying a visit to a specific person, friend, or client. In all of the following terms with bai, there's a clear element of respect or deference. 他到这里来是特地拜访你的。He made a special trip to see you. 我们明天会去拜访你的堂哥。We're going to visit your cousin tomorrow. 我们去拜访时，他们正在吵架。When we arrived for a visit, they were at each other's throats. 你惹他生气，把这一趟拜访搞坏了。You upset him and ruined our visit. 我们去拜访他，看看一切是否正常。We went to see her to check if everything was okay. 我昨天顺道去拜访他，可是他不在。I stopped by to visit him yesterday, but he wasn't home. 顺道 adds the sense of stopping or dropping by on one's way to somewhere else. 他要我介绍一位占星家，他想去拜访。She asked me to introduce an astrologer so she can pay him a visit. 不少外国人远道而来拜访，想亲眼目睹这位奇才。Many foreigners travel long distances to visit, wanting to see this prodigy with their own eyes. During the Lunar New Year holiday, Chinese people will visit friends and family to offer their New Year's greetings, called 拜年。过年时，亲朋好友都会来我家拜年。During the Chinese New Year, relatives and friends come to our house to offer their greetings. 因为手上的工作无法放下，我只能在这里向大家拜年。Since I'm tied up with work, I can only extend my New Year's greetings to everyone this way. This is in reference to an online video message sent to friends and clients at Lunar New Year's. To pay a formal visit to someone who's of the same social status or a higher one, or a person of an older generation, the term to use is 拜会, the operative word being 会, as in 会面. It's especially used for business meetings with clients or visits related to political figures and foreign affairs. 我想去拜会一下你的父母. I'd like to pay a visit to your parents. 他们在早上9点拜会首相. They met with the Prime Minister at 9 o'clock in the morning. 大使夫人向国家元首辞行拜会. The ambassador's wife paid a farewell visit to the head of state. 我听说你去拜会过我的东家. I heard you paid a visit to my employer. Similar to the phrase 做东 to be the host at a dinner, and 房东 the noun for landlord, another important person is one's boss, 东家, especially one you've had a personal connection with over a long period of time. 拜后 means to express one's respect for and concern toward a person of the older generation or of a higher social status. The operative word being 后, as in 问候, to ask about a person's health or welfare. 我去过新加坡， 拜候王夫人，为她做访问。I visited Madame Wang in Singapore to conduct an interview with her. Here, 访问 is the journalistic usage meaning to interview someone, the literal sense of visiting a person in order to pose questions. 父母一到表亲家，亲朋好友都来拜候他们。As soon as my parents arrived at their cousin's home, relatives and friends came to pay their respects. And finally, the original religious sense of 拜 in the expression 拜拜 means to burn incense and offer prayers at a Taoist or Buddhist temple. When paired with different characters, of course, 拜 can apply to any faith and the manner in which its adherents choose to worship. 你要跟我们一起来拜拜吗？ Would you like to come with us to pray at the temple? 无论何时何地，信步到龙山寺，都可以去拜拜。Whenever you happen to stroll by Longshan Temple, you're welcome to pay your respects. The expression 拜访 is often used in conjunction with our next character. But first, we should review the character 斗 from Lesson 40, because it appears as part of it. 斗, you'll recall, is the pictograph of an ancient stemmed wooden bowl for storing food. In our new character, Do has two hands holding it from below and a pair of feet above it, indicating a religious ritual of ascending steps while holding a bowl of cooked grains to offer to the gods. It's pronounced first tone, deng. It means to ascend, climb, or board a vehicle. Since 访 is the basis for this lesson, we'll start with the phrase 登门拜访, meaning to make a special call at someone's home. 我想顺道登门拜访在这小镇里的堂亲。I thought I'd take the opportunity to visit my cousins living in this small town. 你不可以不打电话而贸然登门拜访人家。You can't just show up at someone's door without calling first. 他成名之后，很多人千里迢迢来登门拜访。After she became famous, many people traveled long distances to visit her. Notice the idiom 千里迢迢 from lesson 84, meaning to travel a great distance. 要是你不反对我登门拜候，后天早上10点钟见。If you don't mind me dropping by, let's meet at 10 o'clock the day after tomorrow. 这些时日，我没有登门拜访，因为工作被派到日本。I haven't been able to visit you lately because I was sent to Japan for work. Now let's return to the most basic sense of 登, which is to climb or ascend. 我会跟表哥一起去登阿里山。I'll be going climbing on Mount Ali with my cousin. Ali Shan, located in Taiwan, is renowned for its misty forests, sunrises over a sea of clouds, and views of Taiwan's tallest peak, Yushan, or Jade Mountain, at 13,000 feet. 你父亲不是一位有名的登山家吗？ Isn't your father a famous mountaineer? 登山者在下雪时找不到立足的地方， mountaineers struggle to get a foothold in snowy conditions. 你可以和朋友分享你新买的登山车。You can share your new mountain bike with your friends. Climbing or ascending can also logically be extended to include boarding a plane in the phrase 登机。飞往北京的 CH-168 班机现在登机了。Flight CH-168 to Beijing is now boarding. 大家都已在登机，真是急死人了。Everyone's already boarding. Oh my God, will we make it? 真急死人 is hard to translate into natural English, so I've opted for what I might say in those circumstances. The next phrase is a way to express an immediate or instant reaction. 登时, literally rising at that moment. But it's less common than either 马上,立刻, or 当时 that we've encountered before. 一听到我那句话，她当时生气了。She lost her temper as soon as she heard what I said. 听到家里失火，他当时赶回去了。When he heard his house was on fire, he immediately rushed home. 歹徒见到警员，当时从后门溜出去了。The criminal slipped out the back door the instant he spotted the police officers. To say a person has had instant success in an endeavor, rapid advancement in their career, or a meteoric rise to fame, the phrase to use is 一步登天, literally, to reach the sky in a single bound. 怀着一步登天的想法是你最大的问题。Your biggest problem is expecting immediate success. 很少有一步登天的事情，念书也是一样。There are very few shortcuts to success, and the same applies to studying. 别急，一步一步的来，不可能一步登天。Don't rush it. Take it step by step. There's no such thing as instant success. Now that I've introduced the character 拜, I can add another one that's often paired with it. This new character began in Archibone script as a pictograph of a stick, rod, or handle. That tiny horizontal mark indicating an actual physical object rather than a simple line. Pronounced first tone, 托. Later versions, especially the script used for making name stamps, called seal script, turned that simple stick into a fanciful curved shape with a bend at the top, supposedly representing a plant emerging through the soil, with its long vertical root, stem, and leaves. The end result is that Archibone scholars believe the character represents a stick, rod, or handle used as a support. Those scholars relying on that fanciful later version interpret the shape to mean a plant depending on the earth for its growth and support. In other words, both interpretations mean to support in some way. With the addition of the speech radical 言, this character is pronounced first tone 托, as is another character with the hand radical 手. I list them both because their meanings are confused and sometimes interchangeable. So much so that the simplification movement in China combined them into a single character, the simpler one with the hand component, and discarded the other one. However, there is a difference in traditional Chinese, depending on the other characters paired with them. The version with the speech radical, 言, obviously is related to speaking, literally a request for support, when paired with 请, as in 请托, meaning to make a request. 这件事情很重要，必须请托重要的人物办理。This matter is very important and requires the assistance of influential individuals. Meaning, of course, that you need to request the assistance of those individuals. 因为家中有急事，我请托乡里代理我的工作。Due to an urgent family matter, I asked the assistant manager to handle my duties. 听了父亲的解说，我就死了请托找关系的念头。After hearing my father's explanation, I gave up the idea of requesting favors or using connections. 他常常请托亲友出国时，代为购买法国上等皮包。She often asks friends and relatives traveling abroad to purchase high-end French handbags for her. The politeness of 拜 combines nicely with 托 in the phrase 拜托, meaning to politely ask someone for a favor. When used alone, it simply translates as please in English. Again, a person is asking for support. 有一件事情可以拜托你吗？ Can I ask you for a favor? 这个话题，拜托你不要再讲。Please don't bring up this topic again. 拜托你把这封信拿给我妈妈。Please deliver this letter to my mother. 他拜托母亲照看好他的小猫。She asked her mother to look after her kitten for her. 拜托您，只要你花几分钟时间。Please, it'll only take a few minutes of your time. Now, a grammar and cultural note. Having majored in French and having lived in France for 5 years, I know how important it is to distinguish between polite you, vous, and familiar thou, tu, in most, if not all, European languages. I have it on good authority that Chinese people may use polite nin consistently to show respect or deference when speaking with superiors or elders, or in business and customer service situations. But otherwise, ni is just fine. I could find no explanation for this sudden switching of pronouns in any grammar text. In that last sentence, 拜托您 is an example of a polite opener to a request. But once that's done, it's not offensive in any way to revert to third tone ni afterwards, except possibly in those formal situations just mentioned. The distinction between ni and nin is basically just a tonal change, unlike in Western languages where the pronouns and verb forms are totally different and must be respected. As my Chinese authority said, a person's attitude when speaking is far more important than the pronouns used. Now, back to 拜托。这种无聊的事情，他还好意思拜托我。He actually has the nerve to ask me to do such a ridiculous thing. 这件事，您给我打听一下，拜托了。Could you look into this matter for me? I'd really appreciate it. 可以把小狗留下来吗，爸？可以吗？拜托。Can we keep the puppy, Dad? Can we? Please. 没有你的日子不好过，拜托你一定要宽恕我。Life is unbearable without you. Please, you have to forgive me. Another use of 托 is entrusting a person or thing to another person's care, which obviously also entails a request for support from another person. This sense can also be found in the phrase 拜托, as in the following example. 万一我需要出国， 这里的事情可就要拜托你了。If I need to go abroad, I'll leave things here in your care. Yet another way to use 拜托 is to show irritation, disbelief, or disagreement. As in English, oh please. Intonation is obviously very important. 拜托，那不可能是真的。Oh, come on, that can't be true. Other phrases along this line are 少来了 and 得了吧, expressing disbelief and or disagreement. 拜托，那个人怎么能相信呢？ Oh, please, how could you believe him? 有什么事？拜托你好不好？我正在吃东西。What is it? Can't you see I'm eating for Pete's sake? The version of 托 with the hand radical is clearly related to some action of the hand. In this case, holding something up using only the palms of the hand. There's that idea of support again. Either version of 托, the one with the speech radical or the one with the hand radical, can be found in this next expression. 托辞, meaning to give as an excuse or pretext. Even in English, we often say, come up with an excuse, which sounds like we're offering up an excuse and hoping the other person will accept it. It's also a request to be excused from an unpleasant task. Either sense fits here, speech or the hand, which is why 托 in 托辞 can be written with either radical. 不论他说什么，都只是些托辞。No matter what he says, he's just making excuses. 你说你没有时间，这不过是托辞。You say you don't have time, but that's just an excuse. 你不守时，你这回的托辞又是什么？ You're not very punctual. What's your excuse this time? 昨天跟太太吵架，成了他不回家的托辞。Yesterday's argument with his wife became his excuse for not going home. 朋友在讲电话，我就托辞到房间里打坐。My friend was on the phone. That was my pretext for going into another room to meditate. 我不去他的派对，已想好了一句现成的托辞。I've already prepared a ready-made excuse for not going to his party. 若接到他的来信，托辞不能赴约，我就都明白了。If I get a letter from him claiming he can't keep our appointment, then I'll understand everything. You'll recall that the character 季 from lesson 23 is the pictograph of a man with a lame leg under a roof, meaning to lodge temporarily in a place not one's home, or to place things in another's custody for a limited period of time. In other words, that poor man needs help or support for whatever reason. An easy example was 寄信, to mail a letter, which you're consigning to the care of the postal service for delivery. Well, now we have 寄托, meaning to entrust to someone's care, to place our hopes and aspirations on something, or to find sustenance and spiritual support in something. Again, this idea of support. 他把小儿子寄托在朋友家里。He entrusted his youngest son to a friend's care. 作者把思想寄托在他的作品上。The author pours his philosophy into his works. 这些就是他生活中主要的寄托。These were her main sources of consolation in life. That is, it's what keeps her going mentally, and perhaps spiritually too, in life. Here is our color chart with today's 5 characters. 访登拜托 and another 托 Here's a recap from today's lesson. 1. This lesson introduces only one new character based on the phonetic and semantic element, fang. The other 4 enter into phrases with it. That new character is third tone fang, meaning to pose questions to many people. And in order to do that, one must travel around and visit them. So, third tone fang is found in such phrases as 访华, 访问, 来访, and 到访. 2. The second new character was 拜, found in the expression 拜访, which led to new phrases with 拜, such as 拜年, 拜会, 拜后, and 拜拜. 3. The third new character was 登, because it's often paired with 拜访in the idiom 登门拜访. Other expressions with 登 included 登山, 登基, 登时, and another idiom 一步登天. 4. I added 2 characters pronounced 托 that are often confused. One with the speech radical 言 and the other with the hand radical 手, because they enter into a very useful expression for polite requests, 拜托. Other phrases containing 托 were 请托, 托辞, and 寄托. Now you will find a short quiz on double, triple character, and longer expressions. Answer using only the characters learned so far. Thank you for watching and listening.